long circular path. And in that path will go a light rail or a streetcar, walking paths, and bike paths and trails, and arboretum. Lots of art. It's a new place for people to be in public.
Does the Beltline do all the checking of the boxes? Do they have a website? Yes. Do they hold community meetings? Yes. Do they send out email? Do they have a Facebook page? Yes, yes, yes. Do they really let the public know what's going on? Absolutely not.
I'm all for racing hell. I mean, I think there needs to be an outlet to have all the voices heard. It is an interesting thing that the Facebook page for the Beltline used to be driven by the community, and then it essentially, it's a strong word, it got hijacked by the Beltline.
Can you go to their website and get any information that you really need? No. When there's studies done, current studies done, are those on the website? No. Are the finances of the Beltline on the website? No.
The East Side Trail is going to open in a year, and the hours on it are dawn to dusk. And we're not supposed to use it when it's dark. And this is a major connection from Reynoldstown to Cabbagetown to Piedmont Park and all those neighborhoods in between. But we're not supposed to use it if it's dark because it's not going to be safe. They say it's going to be safer for us to be on Boulevard or Ponce or Moreland, which is crazy. It's just crazy. But no, there's no coverage of that because there's nobody left to be the voice of the people. The Beltline is the voice of the people and the voice of the Beltline.
My name's Priscilla Smith. I'm part of the committee that puts art on the Beltline, and I'm the executive director of Idrum Art Music Gallery.
My name is Elisa Chambers. I'm the acting executive director of the historic Fourth Ward Park Conservancy.
Hi, I'm Rad Slough. I'm the owner of Urban Body Fitness and Urban Body Studios.
My name's Angel Poventude, and I'm a Beltline volunteer with a lot of different organizations all over the city.
Hello, I'm Doug Abramson. I live in Midtown. I'm a big supporter of the Beltline, though there are a lot of holes that still need to be addressed. I used to be on the Tax Allocation District Advisory Committee, known as TADAC, which is the official community group which was designed to advise the Beltline management on various subjects. My family and I have lived in this neighborhood, in the same house, since 1976, and we've seen tremendous growth in the neighborhood. It's hard to see, but behind this fence is Midtown Center. It has Trader Joe's, Starbucks, it has the movie theater, Opry Diem, all sorts of things that are very attractive. But this was just a swamp. Richard's Rose Room was down here for the old guard, and you could see great concerts back in the day, but it was really a swamp. Right behind us there was the Trolley Barn, beautiful structure that was torn down for these garden apartments.
We have a rug shop, we have Local Luna, great restaurant. We back up onto the Beltline even here, even though we've moved, we're still on the Beltline, and you can see the Botanical Gardens and Piedmont Park parking deck. And then you can actually see the back of the Botanical Gardens. So we're in a great location. Once the construction is all complete, we will actually have this fence down and we'll have steps walking up into the Beltline. So we'll actually start taking and teaching classes actually up on the Beltline. We'll do running classes in the mornings.
Essentially all of the monies that were raised through the original bond are committed to this section we're standing on, to the northeast quadrant, the quadrant that needs additional investment the least of any of the quadrants. Here was the plan of how you were going to spend the money in the first 5 years. Northwest, 152 million, Southwest, 99 million, Southeast, 88 million, Northeast, 88 million. So, a reasonable balance. None of these numbers have been achieved because there have been all sorts of changes and the economy is bad and there were lawsuits, etc. But when you look at the actual distribution of money, I don't know what the percent is. It must be 70 or 80% has gone into the Northeast.
We currently own the Beltline in the Northeast. That costs somewhere in the $50 to $60 million range. We have we're leasing where we're standing right now, southwest, a small section in southeast. It's a lease from Georgia Department of Transportation. It's a very favorable lease. It's a 49-year lease for $1 a year. And if we buy this section of land, about 4 miles, we get to buy it for $2 million. Huge difference in the potential for development and also the cost.
I mean, you're going to pay more for property in Buckhead that's along the Beltline than you are in the West End. However, that doesn't mean that as much effort shouldn't go into making the Beltline attractive in the West End as has gone into other parts of the Beltline. So, equal doesn't mean equitable, equitable doesn't mean equal, but the idea is everybody to try to give everybody the fairest shake possible.
When I took the Beltline tour, I was frankly, shocked, disappointed by some of the areas that have not seen any development at all, and for which they would be they would be completely hidden unless you happen to take the Beltline tour. You just wouldn't be going to those areas.
Why isn't it happening in Southwest? There may not be opportunities. There's no Piedmont Park Conservancy in Southwest Atlanta to generate $400 million in funds happening on a park on the Beltline. That's one reason. And then again, infrastructure. Your community in Fourth Ward Park, the Fourth Ward neighborhood said, hey, we can do something creative here. And they worked with the city council, the city, their neighborhood leaders to get that park there. And that kind of energy doesn't normally happen and hasn't happened yet in Southwest Atlanta. Hopefully it will.
This was just basically an industrial wasteland. When it rained and this wasn't here, North Avenue you're talking a foot of water. You couldn't even hardly drive through it. So that was one of their concerns, like, hey, let's take this water, let's put it underground, let's rip up North Avenue. And the community said, whoa, can't we just, do something better and make this an amenity and not have to tear up and close North Avenue, which is obviously a heavily traveled street. So everybody wins. We get natural spring water bubbling up here. This is a basin for the entire area. So all the water, rainwater, when it rains really heavily, it all comes to this space. They did everything that they could to make this as environmentally friendly as possible. Plants are native, they're from Georgia. All the stone is from Georgia. They brought it in from not too far away. So each one of these stones was cut by hand and placed, which I think is amazing. I was here one day during park construction and the workers were up there just chiseling. I was like, surely that's not each stone. And the project manager said, yeah, it's every stone they're hand carving and placing. For the most part, our elderly residents, people that lived in the neighborhood a long time, really support it because this is an amenity for them. It actually increases their property value in a good way to not price them out, but still make it better for them if they do want to sell their house in the future. And of course, gentrification is always an issue in any neighborhood right now. So they're trying really hard to mitigate that and make it so that people can stay here and not have to leave because this is their home.